Hey there, I'm so delighted you are here. I wanted to take a moment and share with you how the Black Girl's Guide to Healing Emotional Wounds began. It started years ago when I was working in DC as a program manager. I was serving the most marginalized and underserved populations in the city. We were working on making these individuals whole. So, moving them through a pipeline that included housing, transportation, connecting them with vocational training, and helping them find permanent positions. And in doing this work, I realized that many of these individuals that we were serving were the remnants of the crack cocaine epidemic that rocked DC and many other major areas in the 80s and early 90s. That being the case, we saw a lot of attachment wounds. We saw a lot of childhood abandonment wounds that went unresolved. We saw trauma. There were many days that we were cursed out. A chair was thrown at us because we didn't return a phone call fast enough. We were threatened. Individuals that we would work hard to connect with a job interview wouldn't show up. And so when these wounds are not healed, they're not addressed, sometimes they turn into self sabotage. And that was a lot of the behavior that we saw and had to address. And so one of the things I realized is that although we were working to try to make these individuals whole and connecting them with these much needed resource, if you're not dealing with issues that affect the heart and the head, the unresolved trauma, again, you're going to deal with some of the things that we saw, the self-sabotage, right? And so began incorporating therapy and clinical resources and doing boot camps, and we had support groups and so on. All of these things to address those things. And we saw success. We began to see success in our individuals and in the outcomes that we were looking for. And so in combination with this work, I began to do my own, or go through my own journey, if you will, of emotional healing. And even though my parents weren't addicted to crack cocaine, or my dad didn't die in a drive-by shooting, or I didn't have a parent that suffered from major mental health issues, there were still some things, some behaviors that I saw in my clients that were in myself, okay? And that is truly where self-awareness comes from. And many of us as Black women, as Black girls, we suffer with certain things that can cause us to sabotage ourselves. It's the thing that when we go into a job interview, we're having to question ourselves. We're having to ask ourselves a lot of hard questions. We're in our heads the entire time. Should I have worn my hair straightened? Should I not have worn my braids? Am I coming across as too aggressive? Am I giving off the angry Black woman stereotype? How do I assert myself without coming across as the angry Black woman? All of these things that our white counterparts do not have to worry about, right? Is this space emotionally safe for me? With all of that said, I began to write the book in 2020, and that's when I released it, The Black Girl's Guide to Healing Emotional Wounds. It started with the book, and we saw tremendous success. Go to Amazon.com and take a look at the reviews. You will see how it resonated with women, how it vibed with women, how relatable they found it to be. And so, because of that, they wanted more. Women wanted more. They were emailing me in my DMs asking how can they continue the journey. So then I released the devotional, the Black Girl's Guide to Healing Emotional Wounds devotional, which takes emotional healing day by day, dealing with a different topic each and every day so we can really cement this and get this into our hearts and soul. And then from there became the virtual space, the Black Girl's Guide to Healing Emotional Wounds.com. And in simple terms, the goal is for us to get healing in the hands of every single Black woman and girl in this country, whether they come to the website and chat with the AI agent, Rashida, who is our wellness coach, or whether they pull down a resource, read a blog article, check out a podcast, complete a worksheet that helps us to heal, whether they purchase the book. It's so important that we take control of our emotional health, that we work to make each other whole. All of these products that you will see on the website are for us, by us, specifically tailored towards the Black experience, the things that we've had to experience through colonization and even the after effects of colonization. I believe that if we are going to shatter glass ceilings, and trust me, there is a glass ceiling. We have to be emotionally whole in order to do that, so that I can see you as my sister and not my competitor. I can make space for other Black women. I can learn to love you and extend grace where I need to. We can show up as emotionally whole for our children, and we must pass this down. I believe this is the work that will outlive all of us. So please join in, partner with us as we continue to break down the barriers that are in front of us and make our country better space for everybody, but particularly for Black women and girls. Thank you all.